Dude, I was very altruistic back then. I was very like into like the Kantian deontological universality of everything and how everything has its place. But now I'm totally the opposite of that. I can't do it with Tekken, dude. It's so hard because I'm trying to move in response to someone else's movement, where it's like this is more like I'm just moving forward. If that makes sense. That's why it's easy for me to multitask, because there's not a lot of dimensional depth to the game. You're just moving forward. I didn't, you know, you answer the meaning of life different every single year, right? And your philosophies may or may not change drastically depending on your experiences. So I gave new responses to the meaning of life. So I'm gonna just play it safe. I already have 62 rings, dude. Getting the 100 rings is like not even worth for me right now. Dude, I don't know how. I guess I wasn't winning hard enough because comms didn't really do anything this round.
Got it.
Last round 100 rings.
Thanks, Clay.
Oh yeah.
Falling.
Did he?
Yeah.
I think I did. I think I saw that. So yeah, it's just a regular, you know, fill one assessment that every single philosophy teacher gives you. It says, "Oh, what do I think the meaning of life?" When someone asks, "What is the meaning of life?" I have no idea what they're asking. And so my initial response to that, just like off the top of my head, was the meaning of one's own existence, the purpose behind their specific existence, and what it means on a universal, cosmic, or transcendental level. If I were asked this question now, I think the answer would be naturalism. To self-actualize means to solidify a deterministic definition of yourself, character cap essentially, and how you will define your environment during your time with mind, body, and being the period of your peak existential potency. So essentially I'm just saying that once you've self-actualized yourself by creating a solidified and deterministic definition of your existence, right, then how you protrude through your existence using your mind and body is essentially becomes the meaning of life. Realizing my own ability to exercise this determination and of restrictions you impose on yourself is probably the most constructive conversation you can have with yourself, but that is also just dead time. The order of the meaning of life, I guess, I deduced it to, it should be bucket list, your gut, safe operations so you can harmonize your setting, when all is perpetually or relatively stable, and then pop off like a blue star. My old astronomy teacher, he would like compare blue stars to just like living, it's just sex, drugs, rock and roll, and then you just fucking die. Right? You die the fuck, what's it called? Yeah, the autonomous life. you die with all the autonomy that you have because you just did everything with it, right? But I'm not saying that you can't have like a safe intellectual assessment of each stage of your life, right, as you go through it, right? It's just saying like at a base there's always going to be a bucket list, and you're never going to not want to do the things that you already initially had the invocation, right, or the aspiration of doing such thing, right? Since you can't get rid of that, right, then you just need to rely on your gut in order to make safe operations till you can harmonize your setting, right? So the safety of being able to establish yourself in the world where you feel comfortable pursuing those pursuits, you know, because we live in a social, you know, we live in a society as that's a meme, but is also something that can act as a enabler or a deterrent depending on what your motives are and what your goals are in life, right? And once that is relatively stabilized, then you just pop off, you just do it, you complete it, and then you keep doing, then you go back, repeat the cycle, go back to bucket list, gut, right, safe operations, perpetuate stability, then just pop off. right? Just take what's yours. Just do it because you already started. Just finish, right? And that's my account for the meaning of life, right? You know what would be cool if they made like an HD Sonic Riders remake, but every single time you got links when you were on a grind rail, it gives you an upkeep, like the speed upkeep that you can lose if you get knocked. Like if you get hit or you fall off. Like I should be able to keep speed from links, because not all links are the shortest. Some of them are actually just longer than the actual process. Some of them are faster, like this one's faster. It's like, it doesn't matter in what aspect you're talking about it, right? What the purpose is behind your specific existence, whether it's on a universal, cosmic, or transcendental scale, right? It doesn't matter whether it's theological, right? It doesn't matter whether it's merely artificial, physical, right? If you're there to create tangible objects for the aesthetic like appeal, and that's your whole thing, like it's nothing wrong. It's just like the way you go about it, right, might be different depending on what you are subjective to, right? Considering the environment that you're born into, because you know everyone has like a different social economic status, ethnicity. They have different bodily features that they all need to, you know, come to terms with and realize and learn how to overcome certain obstacles that, you know, come from the biological imperatives. That's what I meant by the meaning of life. Like, this is all encompassing, so it doesn't matter like how virtuous, right, or physical those actions are, right? In terms of how you get there, it's just as long as you get there and you do those three steps. Oh, I missed it again. It's because I don't want to drift too hard for it and screw myself up. Dude, I was very altruistic back then. I was very like into like the Kantian deontological universality of everything and how everything has its place. And now I'm totally the opposite of that. Like, I hate that I lean towards like existentialism and stuff like that, just because it's like it's not as an in-depth philosophy in terms of the rigorous study of such, right? Because it's a subjective field.